Hey everyone, and welcome to the deep dive. We're diving into Ableton Move today. You got
Yeah.
yours, we got ours, and we've definitely read the manual, so you don't have to.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to break down all those key features for you and get you making music like a pro, hopefully in no time.
So first impressions. I mean, this thing's seriously cool, sleek, compact. It's got all the features you could want, but the portability, that's what got me. 4 hours of battery life, built-in speaker. There's even a mic for sampling on the fly. That's creative freedom right there.
It really is. Imagine capturing a melody, a beat, wherever inspiration strikes.
Right.
The park, on the train, I don't know, on top of a mountain even. This thing makes it possible.
Yeah.
And when it comes to connecting with the outside world,
You're talking Ableton Link? Yeah. I was geeking out over that part in the manual.
as you should, Link is a game changer, especially if you're collaborating, with other musicians. Imagine you and your bandmate jamming, each of you with a move. Link syncs everything perfectly. Tempo, start, stop. It's like, I don't know, wireless musical ESP or something.
That's wild. No more messing around with cables or worrying about tempo drift. Just music.
Hmm.
Speaking of music sampling, the manual mentions this really cool feature. You can actually resample Move's own output.
Oh, it's fantastic, especially if you really want to get creative with sound design. Say you create a drum loop you love, you can resample it right away, add a layer of complexity, texture, whatever you want. And with all those sample parameters on Move, you can really fine-tune the sound.
Okay, so you've got your samples, you're jamming with your friends. What's next? Well, get this. This little device can transform into a full-fledged control surface for Ableton Live. The manual blew my mind with that one.
It's true. Connect this thing to your computer, and it basically becomes an extension of Live. Trigger clips, tweak effects, navigate your set, all from Move.
And for those who are new to Ableton, clips are like the building blocks of your song, right? They can be anything from drum beats to melodies, even full-on sections of a track. And launching those clips directly from Move opens up a world of possibilities for live performance, or even just studio experimentation.
It's about making the creation process more fluid, more intuitive. And that philosophy, that extends to Move's cloud integration as well.
Okay, this is where I really started to understand the potential of Move, like the whole ecosystem. So let's say I'm on the go, inspiration strikes, I start creating a beat on Move. Cloud integration means I could just pick that up seamlessly on my laptop later, or even my phone.
Seamlessly is the key word.
Mm.
And it's not just about transferring sets. We're talking samples, recordings, even presets, all through the cloud. It's about keeping your music accessible and organized, no matter where you are.
It's like having your entire music studio in your pocket, really. And speaking of organization, the manual dives deep into Move's digital brain, the setup menu.
Right, think of this as mission control for your Move. Connectivity, software updates, you can even adjust the LEDs in there.
Oh, and I love some good tech specs, right? So the manual mentions that Move has a quad-core ARM Cortex-A72 processor with 2 GB of RAM
Mhm.
and a 64 GB built-in SD card.
That's a lot of power and storage packed into this little device. And it really shows, too. It's a smooth, responsive experience. Layering samples, applying effects, recording multiple tracks, Move handles it all without breaking a sweat.
This isn't just a toy, it's a serious piece of hardware. And for those inevitable moments when technology decides to, take a little nap, the manual will even have a solution for when Move freezes.
Yeah, don't panic. Just hold down the power button for 10 seconds. It's like a hard reset. Hit the refresh button on your creativity.
Love it. And once you're back up and running, you can dive into that setup menu and explore all the essential settings.
The manual actually does a great job of walking you through each setting, checking your battery life, connecting to Wi-Fi. And speaking of Wi-Fi,
Crucial for a smooth and connected workflow.
absolutely, the manual makes that very clear. A solid Wi-Fi connection is key. For software updates, accessing Move Manager, and of course, for that awesome cloud integration we talked about.
Nothing kills the creative flow like a bad Wi-Fi connection, right? Luckily, the manual walks you through every step of setting up your Move's Wi-Fi. They even have workarounds for when you realize you don't have a full keyboard, like using the ellipsis menu to access numbers and special characters, for those passwords.
Every little detail matters. They've thought of it all. And speaking of details, let's not forget about software updates.
Oh yeah, essential.
They often come with bug fixes, sometimes performance improvements, and even new features every now and then.
And the Move manual makes it super easy to stay updated. You can even set up notifications so you know as soon as new version drops. No more missing out. The manual even lets you in on a little secret. There's an asterisk next to the update entry when there's a new software version.
It's those insider tips that can make all the difference. And speaking of insider tips, there's one more section in the setup menu that deserves our attention: the Ableton Cloud status.
This is where you see if cloud is active, right?
Yeah.
And you can access the host name to connect to Move Manager.
Which, as we all know, is a whole other level of awesome.
We'll definitely be diving deep into Move Manager in a bit. It's like having a personal assistant for your Move rest,
Mhm.
right? Managing all your sets, samples, recordings, presets.
But before we get ahead of ourselves,
We need to talk about switching Move into Control Live mode. After all, we're all about that seamless workflow.
it really is simple. Switching to Control Live mode, the manual is clear about it. You just gotta select the Control Live entry in the Setup menu. Then connect Move to your computer, USB-C cable, and boom, you're ready to take command of those live sessions.
See, intuitive.
Hmm.
And speaking of intuitive Move Manager, this is where things get interesting for organizing your, I don't know, sonic arsenal.
Right, think of Move Manager as your music library, but in the cloud. Accessible anywhere, your computer, phone, whatever. Keeps all your sets, samples, recordings, presets, all synced up and ready to go.
And the manual, it walks you through connecting to Move Manager. Connect Move to the same Wi-Fi as your computer or phone, or you can do a direct USB-C connection. Well, there's a little quirk for Windows 10 users. Got to update Move to version 1.1 or higher using Wi-Fi first. Then you can use the USB-C for Move Manager.
Yeah, those little details can trip you up. It's good they point it out in the manual. Once you're connected, though, you'll need your Move's host name and a confirmation code for authentication, like a digital handshake.
Got to keep things secure.
Okay.
So we're past the handshake. We're in Move Manager. What kind of organizational magic are we talking about here?
You can manage everything, really. Sets, recordings, samples, presets, even tweak some settings. The interface is nice. There's a menu to switch between the different areas. Oh, and you can even choose the language you want for the interface, too.
Nice. So let's talk sets, the heart of it all, right? What can we do with sets in Move Manager?
So the sets page, that's your command center. You can see all your sets there. Download them to your computer. They'll be Allo bundle files, and you can rename them, keep things organized.
So if I start a beat on Move, I'm on the go later on. I could open it up in Live on my computer and just pick up where I left off.
Exactly. And it even works with older versions of Live. The manual says you can open those files in Live 11 as long as it's 11.2 or later.
That's good to know. What about Note, Ableton's mobile app? Can you work with Move sets on there too?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Move Manager lets you download your sets straight to your phone or iPad, then you just open them in a Note. Tap and go.
This ecosystem is wild.
Ah,
Okay, but what if I want to share my music with someone who doesn't use Ableton?
Move Manager has got you covered. You can export any set as an audio file, WAV or MP3, ready to share. And if you're on Apple devices, AirDrop makes it even easier. You can just beam those sets between your devices.
Seamless. Okay, back to the sets page in Move Manager for a sec. Any other cool features there?
Let's see. You can sort your sets by name, date modified, or even size ascending or descending.
Yep.
Just click the column headers. And of course, renaming, deleting sets, it's all really straightforward.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground with Move Manager. But what about plugging in, connecting to other hardware? Does the Move manual have anything to say about that?
It does. It does. The Move has a few ways to interact with, the physical world,
Okay.
starting with the built-in speaker. Perfect for when you want to share a new beat or just jam out without headphones, right?
Yeah.
But if you need to keep things quiet, there's a headphone jack, too. And then, of course, you got your audio input and output jacks.
Essential for connecting to other gear, yeah.
Yeah.
The manual says they're both 3.5 millimeters. Pretty standard. Most headphones, speakers, even some instruments use that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But here's where it gets cool. The manual actually explains how to use Move as an audio interface with Live, both in standalone and Control Live mode.
Which is really cool. I think a lot of people overlook that.
Yeah.
So in standalone mode, you can record Move's main output directly into Live. Just got to connect Move to your computer, USB-C cable, select Move as the input device in Live settings, arm a track, hit record.
So essentially I could connect a microphone or instrument to Move's audio input
Yeah.
and record that straight into Live.
Exactly.
That's cool. Capture ideas on the fly.
And in Control Live mode, you can record whatever's coming in through Move's input. So that could be from the built-in mic or the line-in port.
Wow. So many options. The connectivity doesn't stop there though, right? The manual mentions MIDI capabilities too.
It does. It does. Move can send and receive MIDI notes with other class-compliant USB MIDI devices.
Okay.
So that opens up even more creative possibilities. You connect these devices through the USB-A port, it's on the back of the Move.
So I could like, theoretically connect a MIDI keyboard to Move,
Yeah.
play it like a traditional instrument, even trigger sounds from live.
Yeah, exactly. Although there are a couple of limitations, the manual points out that high-speed USB devices like push aren't supported.
Okay.
And this MIDI functionality, it's only available in standalone mode. But still, it's a cool way to expand what Move can do.
Yeah.
Integrate it with other gear.
Yeah. Now let's talk about wireless connection. Ableton Link. This is where things get really interesting for collaborations, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. Link is like magic, especially for musicians who want to jam together. No hassle, no cables, and the best part, it's built right in. No extra software, no plugins, nothing like that.
Plug and play. How's it work?
Really simple. Just make sure your Move and any other Link-enabled devices, like another Move, a laptop running live, even your phone, as long as it's running Note, right?
Mm.
Make sure they're all in the same Wi-Fi network. Or you can use the USB-C cable to connect Move directly to your computer, then go to the Link entry in the setup menu, and just choose how you want to sync with the other devices.
Okay, and what are the options there? I think the manual said off, tempo, and start stop.
Yep, that's right. Off, obviously, turns Link off. Tempo syncs, moves tempo to the Link session, keeps everyone on the same beat. Then you've got start stop, which syncs the tempo and playback position. So if you hit play or stop on any of the Link devices, it affects all of them.
Wow, so you could have a group of musicians, each with a Move, scattered around a room, even in different locations if they have the same network, and just jam together seamlessly.
That's the idea, yeah. It's a game changer for collaboration, especially for people who like to be on the go. And the cool thing is, the first device to join the session, that sets the initial tempo. But any device can change it at any time, and the others follow instantly.
No more arguing over who's in control of the tempo.
Exactly.
Okay, let's not forget Ableton Cloud. This is where the whole connectivity thing really shines.
Right, with Cloud, your Move basically becomes a portal to your whole Ableton world. You can move sets, samples, recordings, even presets between your Move, Note, Live, keeps everything in sync.
It really is like having your music studio everywhere you go. The manual did mention a few requirements for cloud integration, though.
Yeah, you need to make sure Cloud is enabled on both Move and the other device, and they both need internet access. Doesn't matter if it's Wi-Fi or wired.
Makes sense. So
Yeah.
say I'm working on a beat on Move and I want to save it to the cloud. How do I do that?
Oh, the manual has a shortcut for that. Hold down the Shift button and press the pad that matches the set you want to upload. That opens a menu, then you just choose Upload to Cloud, confirm it, and you're done.
Nice. I like shortcuts. What happens if I hit my cloud storage limit? I think it said you can store 8 sets in the cloud.
Yeah, if you try to upload another one and it's full, it won't work. But you can just delete some older sets or move them back to the Move storage. You do that through the same menu. Select Make Local instead of Upload to Cloud. Or to delete, just hold down Delete and press the Sets pad.
That's awesome. So many options. We've covered so much today. Move's hardware, the software integration, all those connectivity features. This really is an amazing device.
It really is. And the manual, it lays out all the technical stuff really well. But I think the main takeaway is that Move is all about creativity. It's about making music easier, more accessible, more fun.
I completely agree. So to all the Move owners out there, don't be afraid to experiment. Explore, push the boundaries. And remember, the manual's always there to guide you. Until next time, happy music making.